Choosing an assisted living facility for someone you love. Wow. That's one of the biggest, most emotional decisions a family can ever make. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how these places are actually regulated here in Georgia. We're going to break down who's supposed to be in charge of safety, and more importantly, show you how to become your family's #1 advocate in this process.
I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It's the one that can keep you up at night. You're putting an incredible amount of trust in a facility and its staff. And today, we're going to give you the tools to actually verify that trust so you can feel confident and, hopefully, get some peace of mind.
All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll talk about the challenge of just finding a safe home. Then, we'll meet the regulators, the people in charge. After that, I'm going to give you a research toolkit so you can do your own digging. We'll look at what happens when rules get broken, and finally, we'll talk about building a financial safety net. It's a clear path to the answers you need.
Yeah, finding the right place can feel completely overwhelming, right? So let's just start with the most basic question of all. When you're not there, who is really making sure that these homes are living up to all the promises they make?
You know, this really is the heart of it all. You're entrusting a facility with the health and happiness of someone you love. But hope, well, hope isn't a strategy. Really understanding the system of checks and balances, that's what gives you genuine peace of mind.
Okay, so who are the official watchdogs? In Georgia, it's not just one agency. It's actually a two-part team, and both are responsible for keeping residents safe. Let's meet them. So, the main player here is the Georgia Department of Community Health, or DCH. And more specifically, it's their division called the HFRD that really handles the heavy lifting. These are the folks who grant the licenses, who show up to do on-site inspections, and who officially investigate any complaints that get filed. Now, here's something really important that a lot of families don't realize. In Georgia, there's a legal difference between a big assisted living community and a smaller personal care home. And the biggest difference is size. Why does that matter? Well, because that size difference can mean different rules and a different level of oversight. It's a really crucial detail to know when you're looking. And this chart breaks down that two-part system perfectly. See, on one side you have the DCH, and they're focused on the facility itself. You know, the building, how it operates, the health codes. But then you have the state board, and they focus on the people running the show, making sure the administrators are licensed and ethical. So think of it this way. One agency watches the building, the other watches the boss.
Okay, this next part is my favorite, because this is where you get to take control. You don't have to rely just on shiny brochures or a guided tour. There are public tools out there that let you become your own private investigator.
And this is the key to everything. The state of Georgia makes every single inspection report, every violation, and every complaint public record. It's all there, online. The only problem is, most families just don't know it exists or where to find it. So here's exactly how you find it. First, just go to the DCH's HFRD online portal. Second, you search for the facility by its name. Third, you click in and just start reading. Their entire history is right there. And fourth, this is the most important step. Look for patterns. Is it just one minor slip-up? Or is it the same problem with staffing or safety popping up over and over again? This is how you get the real story.
So, let's say you do your research and find some problems. What happens then? Does the state actually do anything when a facility is breaking the rules? Let's take a look at their enforcement process.
And the answer is yes. The HFRD absolutely has teeth. They can take some pretty serious actions. They can slap them with fines, put a facility on probation, and in the most extreme cases, they can suspend a license or even shut a place down completely if residents are in immediate danger.
But here's the reality check. Just because the state can act doesn't mean it's always fast. Some families report that enforcement can be delayed or that there's not a lot of follow-up. And this is a huge point. You cannot rely 100% on the state alone. You've got to have your own backup plan.
And that brings us to a really critical piece of this puzzle that honestly often gets overlooked, your financial safety net. Because if a facility suddenly has to close or you need to make an emergency move, the financial shock can be just devastating if you're not ready for it.
Seriously, just pause and think about that for a second. If you got a call tomorrow morning saying you need to move your mom out, could you handle it? Could you come up with a new deposit, pay for movers, and cover any gaps in care without causing a major financial crisis for your family? It's a tough question, but it's a really important one.
The good news is, there are financial tools designed for exactly this what-if scenario. Long-term care insurance is kind of the obvious one. It's made for this.
A lesser-known option is a life insurance policy that has living benefits, which lets you tap into the money for care while you're still alive. And finally, some types of annuities can create a guaranteed income stream that's portable. The money just follows you wherever you go, which gives you a ton of flexibility.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's just be really clear. The state's regulations, they provide a baseline of safety, a minimum standard, but that's not the whole story, not by a long shot.
I mean, this quote just says it all, right? Oversight isn't a guarantee of quality. A clean inspection report means the facility met the minimum standard on that one day the inspector showed up. It doesn't guarantee a warm, caring, high-quality home day in and day out. And that's exactly why your own research and your financial prep are so important.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. A complete safety plan has two crucial parts. You have to do the digging to vet the facility's public record, and you have to have the foresight to build that financial safety net. So take a look at your own plan. Is it truly complete? Have you covered both?